Have you ever wondered how hackers get information about services running on a target machine? Today, we'll cover the secrets of banner grabbing and port scanning using one of the most versatile tools in the hacker's arsenal, Netcat. Stay tuned to learn how you can perform these tasks on a Metasploitable machine using Kali Linux. Hello and welcome to the Ultra Blue channel. In today's tutorial, we'll be diving into Netcat, a powerful network utility to perform banner grabbing and simple port scanning on a Metasploitable machine. This is an essential skill for anyone interested in cybersecurity and penetration testing. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest contents. Let's get started. To begin, we'll open our terminal in a Kali Linux. You can do this by clicking on the terminal icon or simply pressing Ctrl Alt plus T. First, let's confirm that Netcat is installed on our system. To do this, simply type in nt space -h and then you hit enter. If Netcat is installed, you should see a help information displayed. If not, you could simply install Netcat using the sudo apt-get space install Netcat. However, I do have Netcat installed on my system, so therefore I won't be running this command. Now, let's continue. Now that we have our Netcat ready, let's proceed to identify the IP address of our Metasploitable machine. We must ensure that both your Kali Linux and the Metasploitable machine are on the same network. So I have my Metasploitable machine here and my IP address here. So 192.168.137.129. Alright. So I have it here. I hope it stays in my mind. Now let's go on to our Kali Linux. So with the IP address of our Metasploitable machine at hand, we can now begin using Netcat to perform banner grabbing and port scanning. Let's start with banner grabbing. Banner grabbing is a technique used to gain information about a service running on an open port. This can reveal valuable details about the software version and operating system. So let's say we wanted to perform an HTTP banner grabbing to see the services. And we already know that HTTP usually runs on port 80. So therefore, I'll be typing in Netcat space followed by the IP address of our Metasploitable machine, which was 192.168.137.129. I think 137.129 exactly. Now that we have our IP address specified, then we will hit space and then we'll specify the port we are looking into. So we want to look into port 80, which is usually HTTP services. So after 80, then we press enter. Now you are not going to see anything happen. You would want to after running the command, you are not going to see anything happen. You have to manually send an HTTP request, and to send an HTTP request, simply type in caps head space -http /1.0 and then you hit enter. Great. And then we have this showing up. You should see a response from the server containing details about the HTTP service, such as the version, the service version, which is and also the language over here. So we have a server which is a Metasploitable machine running to as well. So this is a simple way. This is one of the ways to do a banner grabbing on an HTTP service. So now let's move on. Next, let's use Netcat for simple port scanning. This helps identify open ports on a target machine. So to do that, type the following commands. However, Netcat for port scanning is very slow. I mean, it's slower than using Nmap and other mapping tools. But let's go ahead and try it out. So we're going to type in NC for Netcat, followed by, we're going to flag it with a Z and a V. The Z flag tells Netcat to scan without sending any data, and then the V flag enables verbose mode. Verbose mode usually show more detail in an output in a human readable format. So now, after putting in those two flags, then we're going to put a space, and then we'll paste the IP address. Oh, I never took an IP address. So I'm going to go ahead and copy it again, and I'll paste it here. Great. Followed by the IP address of the server or the machine we are trying to find vulnerability to, which is our Metasploitable machine. And then I want to specify the range it should do the scan. So I'm going to specify from 1 to 1000. So it's going to start from port 1, port 2, port 3 to port, is that 1000? That's actually 10,000 to 1000. Then it's going to stop there. Now let's go ahead and hit enter. And great, it returned telling us that all these ports are open. We have FTP file transfer protocol port 21 open, SSH is open, Telnet is open, and HTTP again is open. We have Microsoft DS open here, and you can see that all those things are open. So that's a simple way in using Netcat to do a simple port scanning. So now that we realized that we have a lot of open ports over here, why don't you go ahead and do an FTP banner grabbing just to wrap this all up. So we can also perform banner grabbing on other services such as FTP, which typically runs on port 21. So to do this, simply just type in Netcat or NC followed by the IP address of the machine, followed by the ports we want to banner grab, which is port 21, so followed by 21, and then we hit enter. After hitting enter, you could see that the FTP server is revealing information about the FTP service, which is, it is telling us that it is running on version 2.3.4, and that is enough for a pen tester to perform his next line of attack. To summarize, we used Netcat to perform banner grabbing and simple port scanning on a Metasploitable machine. Banner grabbing helps us identify service detail, while port scanning reveals open ports. These techniques are fundamental for network reconnaissance and penetration testing. Thank you for joining us on this detailed journey through using Netcat for banner grabbing and port scanning on a Metasploitable machine. We hope you found this tutorial educational and informative. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Ultra Blue channel for more in-depth cybersecurity content. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe and keep learning.